celebrities at GalaxyCon.com. GalaxyCon is the copyright holder of this video content. The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyrighted work is strictly prohibited.
Welcome, friends and fans, to another edition of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today, we are going back to the wild world of the Winchester brothers with 5 fantastic guests from Supernatural. And now's the time for all of you in our chat room to begin typing in your questions for them. Immediately after this session, you will have the opportunity to talk to them directly through our private chat options, as well as shop our selection of personalized autographs, all of which are available now at GalaxyCon.com. So without further ado, let's rev up, baby, and see who we find. Our first guest is an actor and artist whose work includes iZombie, The Detour, and The Love Witch. Today he joins us to discuss the role of the 4th Prince of Hell himself, Asmodeus. Please welcome Jeffrey Vincent Parise.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, boss. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Feeling good.
So glad to have you here. So in getting ready for this, I have become a fan of your artwork.
Oh, thank you.
It's a really good work. I really like the colors on the wildlife ones you've used.
Oh,
I really appreciate that. And as I understand it too, you're pretty active musically as well.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, any chance I get to sit in with a band, I do. Or I usually bring my drums to parties. Just
anytime you want to bring out the bongos, you have an open invitation to.
All right, you got it.
All right, Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining us. And next, he's an actor whose roles include State of Happiness, Being Erica, and The Call of the Wild. Today, he joins us to discuss the role of British Man of Letters agent Mick Davies. Please welcome Adam Fergus.
Yay! Hey guys, good to see you, Paddy. How you doing?
I am well, boss. How are you in your corner of the world?
I'm good. I'm back in Ireland at the moment, and it's a beautiful evening. Nice and days are getting longer. They're like it'll by the mid to the end of June. By the 21st of June, it'll be bright until like 11 o'clock at night. So it's a good time to be in Ireland.
Really, it gets like that? Oh wow.
Well, maybe 10:30 is at a push, but like at the very peak of it, a good clear day, it'll stay bright really late. It's kind of cool.
I need to reevaluate my plans to visit. What time of year for Ireland? All right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, Adam, so glad to have you here. Great admire your work. Solid work on Painkiller Jane.
Sorry, you broke there a little bit.
I saw solid work on Being Erica and Call of the Wild. Again, and Call of the Wild.
Cool,
That was
man.
Great adaptation.
Thanks, man.
Really
it was good. It was good. It's a good thing to do. Good bit of fun.
Absolutely.
Good bit of fun.
Well, let's have.
We've
some
been
more
missing
fun
these, We've been missing these cons. So this is a good way to keep everyone's appetite whetted.
Absolutely. As speaking of which, let's bring out our next guest. She is an actress whose credits include The 100, Smallville, and Painkiller Jane. Today, she joins us to discuss the role of Night of Hell Abaddon. Please welcome Elena Huffman.
Hi.
Trust me, they're in the chat room. They're cheering. Trust me. Oh yeah, I know. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. I'm so happy to be here. It's nice to see the crew again.
Oh, so glad to have you here. And I screwed up. I bet you were awesome at Painkiller Jane. Thank you so much for that turn of events. My lady friend at the time was a very big fan of that show and made me a fan as well.
It was a great show. I'm sad we didn't get to do another season, but like so many scripted television shows, you kind of get whatever happens. I don't know.
That's showbiz, as we all know. But Elena, so glad to have you here. So I hope everything's well in your corner of the world.
Yeah, all good. It's a beautiful day.
Awesome. Speaking of all good, our next guest is an actor whose roles include Deborah Rubers and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today, he joins us to discuss the role of British Men of Letters operative Arthur Ketch. Please welcome David Hayden Jones.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Oh, he's cute. That's typical David Hayden Jones. Look at him, like big
and
old
typical Adam,
mysterious.
he's already roasting me.
Okay, come on, Davey.
Hey, you are the most formally dressed guest we've ever had at GalaxyCon Live, and that's not a bad thing.
From the waist up. From the waist
Okay.
up only. Yeah.
That's okay. I wear my gym shorts for these all the times. Davey,
People start typing in like the hockey games and the sports games in COVID. You just need that live audience to come in, just like the backward noise. It's just weird in a vacuum.
Oh.
But,
Or just the cardboard cutouts of people.
yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah,
I wonder if I played
they have those images of people streaming in the background.
Jeff brings his own audience. He's like,
Look at me, put a shirt on. We're a family show.
I love it.
We lost him. All right, he'll be back. Don't worry. We'll reload. Davey, glad to have you here. Everything is well in your corner of the world?
Good to be here. Yeah. Just had a beautiful walk this morning, and there was this real sense of maskless individuals really being joyous and friendly. Like LA's not a super friendly town unless they want something from you. But this morning there was genuine community out by the Riverwalk. So it was kind of nice, sort of shoots of warm community and hope coming back, and a lightness finally on the city, which is great. So I hope the rest of the world gets there too soon.
Indeed, we are in a world where we have some good medical science fixing us up and some improved leadership. And
on the side.
fair. Mark, how you doing today, boss?
I'm doing good. It's a little bit overcast today, but it's been pretty nice all week.
Well, I'm so
It's
glad
your
to.
birthday tomorrow.
It is.
Happy birthday.
Oh my, is it? All right, there's Adam.
Hey, Fergus, how
I
you
don't know
been?
what happened there, guys.
All right. Well, we have a tradition here at GalaxyCon. If it is indeed birthday, then let's
Whose
just
birthday is it?
go ahead and wish you, SRS wish Mark, very happy birthday. Happy birthday, sir. Many happy returns. Thank you for joining us this weekend. And if you'd like, I'll help you blow out your candle.
There you go.
Yay! Did you make a wish?
Yeah, I did, but we're all still here.
All right. Well, okay. We got 8 minutes now. We got a few minutes. I promise we'll make it go as quickly as possible. Mark, great fan of your body of work, and I was a great admirer and fan of your dad as well, too. So
Thank you. Thank
you. And thank you all for joining us here today on the GalaxyCon virtual stage. So glad to have you here. As it's been a crazy year and a half, but we are getting towards the end of it. Then things are getting back to normal, and we're at GalaxyCon looking forward to hosting you on our physical stages and getting you all back in front of your fans. In the meantime, we have this electronic forum. So glad to have you here. Our team is going through the chat room right now, pulling out questions. In the meantime, I'd just like to throw this out for you. What was the most memorable day on the set of Supernatural?
The day I shot Adam in the head. I beat you to it, buddy.
That was my most memorable stuff. Funny. You beat me to it.
I took it.
You beat me to it, Dave. Yeah.
I really liked
That
when
was
I
a
got
memorable
to.
day.
Yeah, I got to kick Mark's ass. That was fun.
In your frickin' dreams.
Mark's a giver, guys. Mark's a giver. He's like, I'll
all,
fall
I
over.
remember, all I remember is you burnt to a crisp. So that's it. No, actually, Elena is part of one of the great days in the great 3 days in Supernatural history. Is that the end of season 8? We had this incredibly complicated set of sequences that started from outside a church, which was filmed in the horrendous weather, and continued. And it started out with Elena's character and me tied in a chair for the better part of a day. And that carried forward for 3 days of shooting. We actually shot in sequence the entire ending of season 8, which was an extraordinary thing to do. 3 days in a room. And it was just massively intense and so much fun. And that was, I think, the weirdest thing was the crew didn't make a sound between takes, but for about 3 days. It was the most intense thing we've ever done. But it was just a really good signifier. I was talking to Jared about this, and he goes, yeah, that was pretty much the time when we were the most together and we were doing something. And it's the significance was, obviously the series is supposed to end in season 5. And then on. So everybody here is a product of that season 8. If you really think about it, it carried into this whole new era. It needed a restart. It needed a rejig, and that becomes, I think, the signifier for where the show really went. So 8, 9, 10, as we continued forward, became like the most important era, I think, of Supernatural, and it was just a fantastic time. That's the short answer.
No, I absolutely agree with you.
Hey, Adam, are you in Dublin?
Oh, I'm in Dublin, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Glass 2.
Oh, right.
I got
something to show
busy
you.
over here at the moment, Mark. I didn't even get you a gig.
I should come over and play with you.
Yeah.
You know what this is?
Whose guitar is that? That's
mine. But you see what's in there? See the Haley?
Oh, look at that.
This guitar is a Fender custom shop guitar made by John Cruz, and it's from the wood from the Halfpenny Bridge when they cut it down.
No way.
6 of these. It's actually the wood that I walked across, my dad walked across, his dad walked across. That is a piece of Dublin.
Wow.
That's so cool, man.
It's a 203-year-old pine.
Wow.
Who gave that to you? Who made that for you?
Fender made that. My wife, remember they cut the Halfpenny Bridge down, right? Remember they cut it down?
Yeah.
It went from being, if you guys don't know, the south side and the north side of Dublin is a pedestrian bridge that goes across. That part of the north side of Dublin was where all the rehearsal rooms and the recording studios were. So every Irish musician ever played, ever rehearsed, ever did anything in Ireland walked across that bridge on an almost daily basis. The other side of that bridge was a crap hole called Temple Bar, which was literally one of the dodgiest places in the world to ever be in.
It's where everyone goes when they come to Dublin because they just
but now it's Silver Lake. They turned it into Silver Lake. So the bridge that went across had wooden slats across it, and it went from 7,000 people a day crossing it to 27,000 people a day crossing it. So they cut it down, sent it up to Harland and Wolff, rebuilt it, and sent it back. And one of the main guys at Fender was up at Harland and Wolff and saw this wood in the corner. So what's that? And they said that's the Halfpenny Bridge. Wow. So we took it back to America, and they were going to make cabinets like the Edge Deluxe cabinets for Fender. And John Cruz was bollocks to that. You know, that Rory Gallagher stood on that bridge. Phil Lynott stood on that bridge, did a video and all that stuff. So he ended up making 6 of these guitars. And he had a 4.5-year waiting list, and he ended up leaving the company. So there's only 6 of those in the world. Wow, which is amazing. So cool. That was my wife's birthday present to me in 2018.
How did she get it? Was she on the list? She on the waiting list?
I'm a Fender artist as well as many other things, but so Billy Siegler is a great friend, but she actually had to get Fender to get a wholesaler to agree to sell back a guitar that they were 50 deep in orders from, and they only ever made 6.
Wow. So
after 2.5 years, I didn't get a birthday present, and then suddenly it was like, oh, here you go. And I was like, oh my God, because I was told by Fender I couldn't have it. It's like, sorry, mate, there's nothing we can do. But I have a lot of Fender stuff, a lot of.
She pulls some strings, that wife of yours.
She does. She's pretty amazing.
She's top drawer. She is.
So I'm holding a piece
of
Dublin. I'm holding a piece of Dublin, so it's a good thing. Love that town. If you've never been,
you can give me a proper hug the next time you see me. You can hold me alive.
I'll hold you dearly.
Yeah, it's great here at the moment, man. We're here. I don't know if you know Newmark, but my wife's about to have twins.
Yes,
so
congratulations.
So I'm going to be balls deep in that for the next year. So
that's right.
The next 18 years. Sorry, Elena. What the hell is it to bring up a kid? It's like it's the whole lot, right?
30,
so we'll have 2 birthday candles for you when the time is right.
Oh wow, yeah.
There you go.
August 22nd, man. Yeah. So I'm just going to be here until the new year, and then probably head back to LA. We don't really know what the crack is. So I'm sure these new little treasures will decide a lot of the future. when they do come out. But we're interested in putting them straight to work, man. You know, twins can make you some serious dollars. They can, because you can switch them out. You can switch them out every 4 hours. You know what I mean? Like, make them work.
Get the dishwashing and the trash taken out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I just did a movie with these the twins, and they played twins in the movie, but they were on, I think, General Hospital or Bolden, one of those. And Haley's got that. You guys definitely can. They started working when they were 4 weeks or something.
Really? Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
He's going to retire on the back of his kids. I love that.
Yeah. Listen, if I had two boys, I'd be getting them in Liverpool kits straight away. And they'd be kicking the ball straight out. Girls, yeah, they have the option of football as well. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes down.
So we've established kids and Dublin are awesome. Jeffrey, what was the craziest day you had on the set of Supernatural?
Craziest day, I'd say it was probably the first day that I showed up. When I got onto that set, I had made a short film about 10 years ago about meeting your future. It was a guy who met his future self in a dream. In the dream, he didn't know it was his future self. It was just a meeting with this enigmatic character, and he was telling him how to be his highest creative self. And it was sort of an 1800s fantasy realm short. And in it, the two characters sat on these two thrones in front of a fire, and he's explaining what he needs to do to become his highest creative self as an artist. Well, the first day on set, I got to go in by myself. I'm looking around. I look down at the throne. It's the same throne I used for those shorts. We rented these two big thrones for the short, and now it was one, and it felt like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's so cool, man. I didn't know that story.
Wow.
The short is called Vincent and Lucian. If anybody wants to look it up, it's free on Vimeo.
All right. Well, take it out. Anybody else got a fun day in the set that they can recall?
I think first day was always a real big thing, wasn't it? Well,
she tried to kill me. She tried to kill me. She shot me with a gun by accident.
Okay, because they wanted me to shoot the gun with my left hand. I'm not left-handed, and it was a revolver. It was really heavy. Like the handle of the gun is really heavy. So I was like, "Can you cock it?" So all I had to do was shoot it from the hip. I shot it into the drawer. It scared the shit out of Mark.
About 14 seconds before it was due in the script. There's this great outtake of her. It's shots on her. And this great outtake. She just bang and it goes off. And I'm like, you just see my head revolve into the camera going.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I know you haven't, clearly.
It was a flintlock too, which made it worse.
Oh, really?
It definitely left a mark in the furniture, and not everybody was very happy with me. I was like, "That's my outlet insurance."
Thanks.
That's okay. I got shot in the face on that show. They I think it was Gil or one of them shot me in this point blank on camera, and I was like, "You're not allowed to point guns at people. That's against all the union laws." And they're like, "At people, you're a monster." And I'm like, "No, I'm a woman. I have 4 children."
Well, Blanks, you know about that guy who was messing around with a blank.
You've got a 25-foot flame spurt. I mean,
that's right.
The wadding will kill you.
It was
wadding will kill you.
Whoa.
Yeah, the actors. The
Brandon
80s show Voyagers. He thought blanks were just like caps, and he held it. Hey, watch this! And
yeah, but it pushed the wadding through his brain.
Yeah,
the best one of all of this is what Elena just said, which is brilliant. We did. Charlie Beeson was doing an episode, and it's one where I have the next prophets around. They don't know they're the prophets, and I'm showing Kevin what's going to happen to him if he does something wrong. And I lift this woman in the air with my hand from a distance, and then snap my fingers, and she explodes. They built a $50,000 blood rig that obliterated the set. There was this giant set. It wasn't on our stage. It was an industrial building. And so they built this thing that had about 80 gallons of blood in it. and about 40 pipes that just explode outwards at a given point. Everything's at high pressure. So I raised this woman in. The gag is somehow I didn't have to be in the blood shot, because when it comes around to me, there's almost like a cutout of where I haven't been hit with blood. But these 12 actors are absolutely destroyed with 80 gallons of blood. So I was giggling like an idiot. So we did this. I mean, it's this amazing shot. I lift her 20 feet in the air. I snap my fingers and she explodes. And as we get to the post-production of it, and I'm going, well, where the hell's the shot? He said, well, we have a problem. I said, what's the problem? He says, well, we can't use it. Standards and practices won't let you explode a woman on television.
Oh.
If she was a witch or a demon or anything else, we could.
She's a person.
We weren't allowed to kill her, so they wasted like 50 or 60 grand's worth of equipment to do a shot. So there is a distinction. They're allowed to blow you up because you're a bad person
and shoot you in the face.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I got shot in the head. What was that, like right in the back of the head?
yeah, well,
That's
Well, but
Yeah.
that one, see,
I was a nice person.
it's slightly
you
supernatural.
shoot a person in the head, Adam, but it's like it's the way that the gun is pointed at you, because when they shoot you, they can line it up so the gun's not actually pointed at you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It looks like it is. And that was the difference. This one, they literally put the barrel of the gun under my chin on camera.
I'm sure it was Gil McKinney. If he's one of the suspects, I'm gonna say it's definitely Gil McKinney.
It's because you're Irish.
Texas.
It's because you're Irish, right?
Yeah, probably.
That's why.
Probably.
But like we're us the Texans are kind of our kindred spirits. We have a lot in common. David Hayden Jones was extremely professional when he was shooting me in the back of the head. I'm sure he didn't have the gun pointed right to the back of my head.
Well, and I mimed the whole gunshot. Remember, there was nothing in it. It was just like, oh.
It's
David,
Yeah.
I've
Fake kick.
never seen you with your top button undone and your tie not straight. What's going on?
I'm just, this is my relaxed at home look.
Wow.
Casual strategy.
This is actually a pajama onesie. I can zip it off later. It's lovely.
I get this sudden feeling that you wear a wetsuit in the bath.
I'm never nude. I have jean shorts on at all times.
Sartorial excellence.
I love it. I love never nude. I love never nude.
All right, I think we're gonna go to audience questions. Let's go ahead and roll our first one. All right, and here's one from Christy, and she would like to know, if you could have the abilities or powers from any character in Supernatural, what would you choose and why?
I can guarantee you no one ever chooses my character for this. He was quite the bookworm. He was quite the reader.
The power of reading.
He's very powerful.
Harry Potter, Frodo, yeah.
Well, Asmodeus had a sweet skill set, right? Could you go invisible?
Few of them. I was able to flick.
Someone could go invisible, right? Yeah, you had the flick and the pop and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was nice.
I still got to go with flight. You got to go with flight. I don't care what anyone says.
I know it's
flying, jumping up, flying through the air. Period.
Well, obviously, making humans explode is off the table, but
That's pretty cool.
Make them explode. You just can't show it on camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Very good.
That's right.
What was the final answer?
If you could do it have the power to do it over Zoom, it would be quite an interesting Zoom meeting.
Make people explode over Zoom.
Just over Zoom, yeah.
I think the world would be down by several million people in about 10 minutes.
yeah, this year anyway.
Probably. So we have flight and blowing people up over Zoom. Who's got another one?
Well, I like the flingy thing too. I could do that. My character could do that. It's like,
That's
go.
nice. It's just a little flick and then they explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I think I was able to even point at somebody and he exploded. It was a bartender or something.
It's not the same as like the pull my finger type thing.
Yeah.
Different explosion.
If you pull Adam's finger, I got it.
I had him pull my finger.
She already has the dad jokes. You're going to be such a great dad.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Christy, thank
Yeah.
you. Fun
Thanks,
question.
Christy.
What do we have next? And here's one from Raylene. Which character death was the hardest to cope with?
Mine.
Yeah, clearly ours.
There's a theme here, guys.
I mean, all of season 12 for me was like, jump to the back of the page. Am I dead yet? Am I dead yet? Am I dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my episode. I got to it. I'm
Which
like,
translates
no.
to, do I have a job still?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell people.
Oh,
You're sad for
I-
people like that because as an actor, you're like, that's unemployment. It's not just death on camera. It's just like, oh, I got to go pound the pavement again for, most work.
Yeah.
And then for some of us, they like to toy with you. They're like, kill you, bring you back, kill you, bring you back, kill you, bring you back.
Believe me. I was two of those too.
They didn't give you a heads up. You literally found out as you read the script.
Oh yeah.
That's
No,
it.
they don't.
Oh wow.
Well, my agent told me beforehand. She goes, "So this is the one you die in." So then I just avoided reading the last 2 pages until about an hour before we filmed that scene. No, it's not over. It's over. I'm trying to change the script. It's not going to work, dude.
They cut that, but I did a little improv at the end of my death, and they cut it out. It was when I was burning, and I just yelled to the heavens. I was like,
Welcome to my
"I'll
world.
be back!"
There you are.
Has there ever been an actor, and Mark, you would probably know this, you're a great storyteller. Has there ever been an actor who's just not showed up to their own death
Yes.
on a set? Yeah.
There's an old rule called the Bochco rule. It's
Okay.
Stephen Bochco, the great writer and producer.
Yeah.
And if you look back at the Bochco shows, the first thing I've got to set the scene. If you look back at Bochco shows, look at the psychopaths that they actually hired as actors for most of those shows. Some of the craziest actors you've ever seen. NYPD Boo backwards, like Hill Street, all this thing.
Right.
And it's called the Bochco rule is you never tell an actor he's going to die until the day he's going to die, especially if they've been on the show for a while. So the Bochco rule is they're not like, you're going to die this season, whatever, because they had actors that burnt down sets, refused to do the shots. They always have to have a contingency if somebody refuses to do it, because it's happened loads of times. If you think of the bad old days of the 80s in television, when there was a lot of people before they got sober and before they got straight, there were some people that caused absolute chaos.
Yeah.
By going through it, going, yeah, bang, I'm dead, whatever. They're just refusing to participate.
Refusing to do the scene.
It's actually called the Bochco rule, and you'll come up against the Bochco rule in television.
See, I knew to defer. I knew to defer to your question. That's amazing. What a great story.
I was trying to get out of the show for about a year and a half, and it was painfully apparent that it was time for me to go do something else. As I went from being the smartest character on the show to being possibly one of the dumbest characters that had ever been created in the space of about 6 months. And it was this weird thing where I knew that they knew that I knew. And, it was just like, so I was able to spend weeks saying goodbye to all my friends, all the crew, everybody that I'd worked with for all this time behind. They were like, oh, no, you're not going to die. You're not going to die. And I'm like, trust me, I'm going to die. My apartment is packed. The greatest thing was transportation. We're like heads of transportation. We're like, drive your car back home. You want to drive back home. I said, well, I'm a series regular on the show. I'm a major cast member. I said, I have to drive myself. They're like, we'll drive you. So off the books for about 2 months, transportation picked me up, took me home, drove me to airports, drove me back every single day. And it never got to Warner Brothers that they were actually doing that. So, I was well protected, but it was the unwritten rule. They couldn't tell me until they told me. Yeah. When I knew I had the ability to have some participation in the ending, which I thought was really fantastic. But
absolutely, I feel.
But it was a bit of a cluster. It was a bit of a cluster. My thing was, it became a sort of weird political thing and got weird. And the hardest thing for me is, like, my friends all continued to work, and I'm happy for my friends to continue to work. And the reason why I cut out of creation gigs and all the rest of that stuff was because I didn't want to be sitting there for an hour and a half every day answering questions that were pertinent to me not being on the show and other people being on the show. When people, I was just happy everybody was working. I genuinely, I'm able to do other things. I'm able to do that. But my time had come, and I'm very pleased my time had come. And then we got into the politics of it, and some fun stuff happened, which I ended up making T-shirts and paying it back. So, I'll be back concept changed there's something that I put in, that I was given to put in, and certain powers that be cut it out when I went to go do the ADR. So I knew what was going on and where it was going on. But genuinely, honestly, now it's a level playing field. There's nobody on Supernatural anymore. So a much easier concept to talk about the stuff that we love and our interactions and how we all love each other and like each other, because it's an extraordinary, people don't realize it's an extraordinary thing. It's a rare show in the context of what people call fandom, which we call the Supernatural family for a very specific reason, because we don't like the word fanatic, because fanatic implies something that's not particularly positive. But this group of people that we get a cause or we do something, God forbid anything happens to any of us, and we join a cause, and then suddenly there's millions of people making it bigger, making it work, making it do something. This show has so much power in that way for good. And the stories and the ways that people are connected to this show, you know, the way we're connected, we all know each other, and it's, you know, we're all friendly regardless of what people may think. But the fact is that we see these people coming together to help each other, mental health issues, physical health issues. Somehow Supernatural has become this sort of safe place for people to associate with and connect. You're never alone with the Supernatural family. I mean, people that will go to a convention, first time they've ever gone, they make 20 friends, they make friends for life, etc. And I don't think that happens on every show. I really don't think.
It doesn't happen on every show. Does it?
You know, it was a family, right? Everything was a family. This was a family. You didn't have a choice, because once you've done them with Moose and Squirrel, you know, in the deep end, you know, day one, whoever you're working with, any of you guys, whoever you're working with, day one, when you're dumped in the deep end, or you dumped in with me, or it's like you got to hit the ground running. I mean, you're in the trenches, and you've got to do it. You've got to show up, and you've got to do your best. And that's, I think, the signifier for we loved doing it. We cared about it, and it shows. They love watching it. They cared about us, and it shows. And I think that's just a fantastic contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it is, man. It very much so. Very much so is. And it's like, I suppose, you know, on most shows that you do, you don't get to see everyone after you finish the show. And like, from our perspective, what the conventions bring aside of everything you just said, but like you get to know the people that you might have worked with not so much. I didn't work with Elena. I didn't work with Jeff, but I know them like better than I know some cast members of shows that I've worked on for years because of GalaxyCon, because of all the cons, and I think that's a real breath of fresh air for me in my career that you maintain those, and they become better friends than friends have in other shows simply by the amount of time you spend with them. And it's fantastic. And you really notice how much, from a selfish perspective, you really notice how much you missed the cons in the last 18 months, and what you miss about them and who you miss.
I've known guests that have worked together on shows for years, and they weren't close at all. But on the convention, in the green rooms and at the tables, they discovered, I didn't know you were this cool. Yeah, we never had a chance to talk.
Yeah. Or you just would have not met them on the show because you were on different seasons or whatever. But like Mark and I, that was the best part about getting on Supernatural. I was like, oh, my buddy Mark, because Mark and I had known each other from the conventions from years of just doing conventions from other shows we've been on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fun. Okay, yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. You're calling me old.
Raylene, thank you so much. That was a great question. And a reminder to our audience, if you would like to chat with our guests like I am now, or purchase a personalized autograph, please sign up at GalaxyCon.com, and let's go ahead and roll another one. Here's one from Judith. Which day has been your best day in 2021 so far?
Today.
That's right. Exactly right.
Good day. We made it through.
Every day that I'm alive, one more day is my best day. Let's just put it down.
Absolutely.
I think mine's the day I found out I was having twins, I suppose. But
you are so screwed. You are so screwed. I mean, listen, I love you dearly, and I know a little of you, and I know your temperament. You're going to be fantastic at it, but you are screwed.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
If I could give you one piece of advice, I have 3 kids. I'll give you one. You've got more kids than me, Elena. Please don't take any advice from anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're all
That's
different. They
great.
do what they do. They are what they are. When somebody goes, you know what you need to do, you go, yes, thank you very much. And
Yeah.
that's
Thanks.
what you were going to do anyway.
Yeah,
Right?
No, that was the best piece of
Yeah.
advice I got when I had Elijah. He'll be 17 tomorrow. Him and Mark share a birthday. And my aunt said to me, she's like, just remember, he's your kid. And that's kind of like your general, that is your through line. This is your kid, your family, your experience.
Right.
Yeah.
My
That's
goddaughters are
wonderful.
twins, and you have a very fun adventure ahead of you.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
Very
a guy's talking about his
it's quite
God.
unique, isn't it?
Virgins talking about sex here.
I get to be the fun, wacky uncle. And
Right.
yeah.
When you get to do 24 hours a day for 15, 16 years, we'll talk back.
I'll pass.
Yeah,
Judith, thank you. Fun question. What do we have next? From Debbie. Ooh, what is your all-time favorite show?
mine's The Sopranos.
I know what David Hay Jones is.
Did?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Let's see how I know him.
Go for it.
The beachcombers. Dave's always
Good one, buddy. Good.
I thought it was going to be
Canadian
Daktari.
bro. Oh my God. Canadian television growing up was bless our little cotton sock.
But look now, Schitt's Creek. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, Shits
Yeah.
is great.
Brilliant.
But it's got to be like a desert island show, right? Like you get one show on a desert island
Got to have a lot of
for the rest
episodes.
of your life. It's got to have a lot of episodes.
Golden Girls.
Oh.
I can't do,
Nice.
Golden Girls.
I can't do 3 episodes
Love
of Golden
that
Girls
one.
back to back at
Thank
least.
you for being a friend. I've traveled down the road.
Like my favorite, one of my favorite all-time shows obviously has been The West Wing. You know that, David.
Yes.
But
First
like
focus.
if you're talking about desert island shows, you'd have to go with something classic like either Only Fools and Horses or Faulty Towers or something like that.
Ooh,
Because
yeah,
you need a bit of a
Ours
laugh.
is so few episodes, though. I mean,
I know.
There's only 13.
I know what it's the only.
Father Ted.
TV. It's the only TV I own on box set, and that's the original cast of SCTV, the old sketch comedy show in Canada. Because that would keep me so happy, and that's what got me into show business. That is what made me want to go into Canadian sketch comedy, which then pivoted into hopefully an acting career. But
which is amazing because
You
you're not
don't
really
have
that
the
funny.
15-year box set of Supernatural?
I'm still trying. I'm a work in progress, baby.
I say for myself, it's
The journey.
It has everything in it. It's got the amazing acting, and some of the episodes are just standalone films almost. It's got comedy, family, the
With the
adventure.
show?
I mean, it's The Sopranos.
Golden Girls,
Oh, sorry.
Golden Girls. Yeah. Three's Company.
No, what did you say?
Sopranos.
Sopranos.
Sopranos. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you when you're talking about originator shows and later shows and stuff, it's you can't really disseminate that much between Sopranos, West Wing, The Wire, Hill Street Blues, all those originators, things that change things in television.
Yeah.
There's so many of those great shows, even Breaking Bad, whether you like it. Then it becomes down to taste. But you're talking about
Yeah, exactly.
we always
That's a
skip
good point, Mark. Yeah.
we skip over the one thing that's amazing is we're on a show that went on for 15 seasons in a genre television that now you'll never do a 22 23 episode season ever again. It's just not going to happen. So 15 years of we've had the ups and the downs, and we're talking about the arcs throughout the seasons. It's incredible if you think about that amount of television that's been made and the amount of people that are connected to it.
Mhm.
I mean, every one of you here, we've all done other things, right? We've all done other things. But what are we recognized for? What is the number one thing that people,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
which tells you the impact, the worldwide impact?
Yeah, and and it's,
We
and we've
travel
said
around
this. It's the variety in writing. It's having the balls to do episodes like the episode with Baby. What's that called? What's that one called? again?
Baby.
Baby.
Yeah,
Look,
Babies.
to break the mold, Sounds like to break the mold like that's talent, and that's where the real talent lies.
I probably had 30
longevity.
some odd writers writing my character over 8 years or so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane, and we saw different people come in and out, go on, and people become directors and move forwards and do all this stuff, and it's not going to happen like that again. We're not going to have that thing where you have a convention of television being that amount of episodes and stuff going on for years. If you look at it, what's the most successful of all of those? You got like NCIS, probably a non-advertised show that's had tens of millions of viewers ever since its inception and has been on television forever. But I don't think it has the same impact on culture that Supernatural does. And I think we always sell it a bit short because we don't.
Or to your point, subculture. And I not to diminish the culture of subculture, but like you have this incredible diaspora of this family that have created this own side project. That's what I like about the cons too. Is like we're troubadours again. We're almost like old theater folk going from market to market, and that's what I love about this side job that is conventions.
I have a thing that I said a lot, over the years at conventions, and when I was talking to people who'd never done conventions before, right? The actors who'd never experienced this before.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, remember, a lot of us come from live theater or live performance. A lot of us come from that, and even if you don't, we do understand it. So when you perform, when you're on a stage, I'm at Croke Park opening for U2 in '87, they breathe, I breathe. You know what I mean? It's that unconditional organic bond between yourself and an audience. And this thing, you do a stage play and you can hear gasps and you can hear, you can see the eyes of people there, even though it blends. But it's just you're lifted on this energy of an audience.
Yeah.
And so we make television with 150 of our friends, right? and we all congratulate ourselves on the last take or whatever it was that was done because it kind of felt good. But we're not there. We're not with our audience when they experience it.
Yeah.
So I always pitch that going to a convention was completing that circle. Doing this.
I've told the exact same story at the convention, Mark. I think that's exactly it. That's nail on the head stuff, especially. Because when you talk about the feeling of the energy of a crowd, you can feel it from night to night. If you do 100 performances of a play, you remember the 94th one or the 65th one that was that special night when everyone felt it on stage and the audience were particularly on fire. And it's just, wow, you can feel that. And you feel that with these cons. And exactly what you said, it's bringing this thing full circle. And it gives you that thing that you don't have with other shows of like genuine questions year after year about stuff. I did 6 episodes and people are asking me stuff that I still asking me after so many years, or 3 years or whatever, 4 years, stuff that I have never been asked. And I think that's it's really cool.
It's a love thing though. I mean, it's like, Jeff, you know this, it's like, you performed in many different arenas and cross with music and everything else. You can't explain it. There's a give and a take that doesn't exist in any other thing but with an audience. Mm-hmm. It's an organic, it changes everything you do, right? What's your experience of it? You got jumped into it and then you go straight out onto the circuit, and it must have been
the first convention, they were like, okay, you're up. I'm like, what do you mean? Who up? Me? Just me? And he's like, yeah, go. It was Richard Speight. And I had, I think there was a 45-minute slot. And I'm like, wait a minute, just me? And he's like, yeah. Like, what am I going to say for 45 minutes? He said, no, man. Just you'll get out there. They'll ask some questions and tell some stories. Don't worry about it. And he was right. Like, as soon as I got on that stage and they were like this, it was like, oh, that's right. I'm a showman. I can do this. I can like tell stories. And the energy that they give back. You're right, Mark. It was like, unlike any other medium I've ever done is these conventions, and it does feel like a show.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
but that's why
we all
do
vibe
it.
off each other too. Like when we can, like I said, like Mark and I have known each other for years just from doing shows that we weren't even on together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you create bonds, and then people are like, oh, and it's our version of a tour, and it's just something. It's so nice.
But that's the reason we do it, right, Elena? That's the reason why we do it. We do it for that connection, right?
And it's nice because like, especially before, I'll even give like to social media, but especially these conventions, before we would do say a guest star, recurring something. and it would feel like you just do it into the void. You know,
Right.
it comes and it goes. Your family, maybe they call you and say, nice job. This, now you have a real connection, and you get to witness how your performance has affected your audience on a massive level.
And they'll remind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liken it to, you know, going out into the lobby of a theater after you've done a play, but there's thousands of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. See the library bar.
It's
Yeah.
all
Fucking
connections.
love to do a play again.
I was just
I'm
like jonesing for some theater, man, live performance again.
Yeah, I was offered to play.
Go do something.
In November to September, rehearsing September and doing it for November, October, November, and into December. And I was like, "Fuck, my twins will be a month old at that point. Is that too much of a commitment?"
No.
So I turned it down, but I'm kind of regretting it.
Listen. The trouble is that you don't know. You don't know what your kids are going to do. You don't know
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's just find out.
You love to bail. That's the truth of it. Is you'd love to run away and do a play.
It's the whole Shakespeare's canon maybe today. Like the play is going on all day. Like it's a triple header. Yeah, we're doing Lear in the morning,
I have
and
to
then
sleep
we're
here.
You know, my dad was in the RSC, and in those days they would do 3 plays on a tour.
Oh,
yeah, the Rep Theatre, man. It's like if you ever watched one of the greatest films ever made, is The Dresser, not the new one, the original, The Dresser with Tom Courtenay and Albert Finney. It's one of the greatest films of all time.
Finney is just amazing.
Go, Jeff's back. There you go.
Sorry, my battery died.
No worries. Well, Debbie, thank you for your question. And GalaxyCon viewers, this has been my time with the cast of Supernatural, but it absolutely does not have to be yours. If you'd like to chat with our guests like I have today or purchase a personalized autograph, please head over to GalaxyCon.com. And while you're there, please check out our schedule of upcoming events.
Before you go, Adam, you want to say you want to take us out and give them a thank you? Are we done?
Well, I was about to say, any final words for our audience?
There you go.
Whatever you guys want to say. So, the floor is yours.
I've got something I'd like to share and announce that. So I did a painting that I think some of you might be interested in, and I've made prints that are going to be available starting Monday.
Has it got boobs?
Yeah, no. I'm going to show you.
See a boob.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Well done. That's gorgeous.
Oh, that's dope, man.
It's life size.
It's life size.
Yeah.
Who is that, Jeff?
I don't know. It's just some guy I saw on the subway.
He's beautiful.
He kept looking at me. And so then I did.
That's awesome. Nice.
I
Oh,
did
that's
some
sweet.
prints, and the prints are all hand embellished with gold leaf, and they all have. They're all originals because I've highlighted the face.
Would those be the prints?
Yeah, the gold leaf is makes the eyes glow when the lights are out.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
That's dope.
They're gonna be available starting Monday.
Sweet.
Well done, dude.
There you go.
And where are they available at?
All on my social medias, like I'll put it on Twitter and Instagram, and then
Okay.
you'll be able to buy them from my website,
Okay.
JeffreyVincentFreeze.com.
There you go. Anything else from our guests?
Listen, hey, listen. The most important things here is we obviously know each other. We could do this for days. We could hang out and do this stuff for days. And we just want to thank you all for showing up. We know it's been an incredibly difficult year for so many people, and we just hope you're safe and well, and your families are safe and well, and you're doing whatever it takes to keep it that way. And we feel like we're slowly emerging from this insane vacuum that we've been in, and we love you all. We really appreciate you showing up for this. We will try to show up for you guys wherever we can, because this is special to us at a really base level. And I just want to say, hold on tight to each other. and look after each other. It's been a very, very rough time. And just, it's a time for love. It's a time for sharing, a time for caring, and a time for love. And we love you guys very, very much. And we love what you do and how you support us and what you do for us, and how you help each other is actually the most remarkable thing. And we want to thank you for letting us be part of your part of the Supernatural family. And we enjoy you guys so much. Anyone want to add something?
I would just end their generosity and honestly keeping me creative through stuff like Cameo and feeling connected. That people have been so kind in helping me believe in me when I couldn't believe. It's weird to have your job taken away from you.
Yeah.
So we can't forget about that. So I've been so grateful to the audience and to people like you, Patty, and GalaxyCon for letting us stay connected in this virtual world. It's been a blessing, and it's honestly kept my mental health in check on those lonely nights.
Truly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gentlemen and lady, it has been my absolute pleasure to serve you all today. Once again, thank you for joining us on the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Thank you to our audience for joining us, and thank you for your great questions. Hope to see you all again soon. Until then, bye-bye, everyone. Take care, and please remember, smiles are free, so spend them often.
Hey!